Hello, my name is Charlotte, and today I want to talk to you about how you can design your own trousers or pants. Making trousers and pants is one of the things I get asked about and help people the most often. So that's anything from drafting made to measure trousers, fitting rose patterns, or even fitting commercial sewing patterns, and then designing your own. And I'm really passionate about getting the clothes you want to wear, and I do love trousers, especially if they're a little bit vintage inspired for me and they fit exactly how I want them and work for me and what I do throughout the day. So I thought I'd spend this video first of all showing you the whole process I use. And if you want to learn to draft, fit and design your own trousers, then I've also created a course exactly because I'm asked about it so often. And I put a link in the description for the early access, which gives you a better deal and you get to try it out early. And that combines everything I will talk about in the video, the full process. What I'm thinking about at the moment, and I've started it, is making a pair of sort of maybe 1940s trousers with a pleat. And I own a lot of quite wide-legged trousers like this one. Some with pleat, with some without a pleat. And what I really wanted to do is a slightly more fitted style, but not quite as flat as this image. So I've been sort of looking around and looking at inspiration. Again, this is a sort of look I'm going for with the big pockets, but maybe a little bit more fitted. So I like looking at inspiration also to work out what I like and what I don't like, which I think is really important. So this Claire McCardell at the moment is my front runner. I also really like this one, which is a slightly more fitted version. Again, you can see that's got a very tight leg. So I think all in all, Claire McCardell at the moment is still sort of quite a nice fitted sort of peg leg, you might say. And then it's got a nice pleat and big pockets. And when you're looking at inspiration like that, the great thing is if you have something like my draft, fit and design trouser course, you have all the steps you need to draft it. So whether it's your block, fitting it, the basic sewing pattern where I explain how you can create the silhouette you want, and then lots of design tutorials so you can sort of piece it together. And the process I'm showing you is exactly the process I'm using at the moment. I'm currently stitching the toile for the version I decided on. Whenever you draft your own trouser pattern, it follows the same process. The first stop, of course, is to have either a block you want to draft from, or if you're not quite there yet, I totally understand, you can also pick the right sewing pattern to start with. So that would be closest to the fit. If you, of course, want to make your own, you would use ideally your made-to-measure block. And of course, on my trouser course, the made-to-measure block is included. So it's a full process from measuring to drafting it. You make sure it fits you, of course. So either fit it with me, or if you already have a sewing pattern, make sure it fits before you actually commit to designing something. And then the second step is what we're going to talk about, which is the design and draft. That comes after making your block and fitting it. So when I made my made-to-measure block, I drafted it so it's not super fitted. It has the sort of basic fit I like with ease around the hip, and it's high-waisted because, of course, the great thing is with a block you can draft it exactly how you want to. But what I want is basically a high-waisted pair of trousers. So you have to decide how high you want your waistband to be. And then you also decide on your silhouette. So in my case, my silhouette is sort of relaxed in the hip and thigh area, and then it's going slightly more fitted, what we call like a tapered fit towards the leg. And I, at the moment, after years of wearing crop trousers like this, I've gone slightly longer, but I think for these and for summer, I'm going to probably crop them a little bit a little bit longer than the image, but have them sort of at the ankle, just above the narrowest part of your ankle, which I always find quite flattering. And then the back, again, similar, well, identical fit to start with. And this is a sort of silhouette we always start with, where you actually decide how you want your trousers to fit you. And I use a certain method where I go through it step by step. And again, if you want to learn to do it with me, there is a whole module included on how to draft your basic trouser sewing pattern. There I go through all the steps you need, and we always start with a silhouette like we've done on here. So it's your waist height, your waistband height, your fit around here, your crotch height, and that crotch level is really important for fit. And it's one of those things I think doesn't get talked about, how crotch level really affects how your trousers hang, especially with pleated trousers. And that's just the first considerations to do, like your torso, and then it moves down in the leg, and then you can decide exactly what design you want to do, how to, you know, like little variations of a design. And the great thing about trousers is because we start out with a straight pattern, the design from it is really straightforward, which I like. The back, of course, I'm going to do darts for now. It might also be quite nice to do a yoke for vintage trousers, but I will see that on the trial when I make it. And the biggest design feature on it, which is the next step we're now going work. So the design and draft is, you have your silhouette first, and then you actually have your sort of design. And by design, I mean seams, pockets, pleats, which quite often don't alter the whole fit of your trousers. They add more. So in my case, I want a pleat at the front. But that could be a wrap, it could be, you know, a seam. I do love a seam going down the front of a trouser, again, very 1940s. And then it'll be things like the pocket. And I want, again, a really deep, practical pocket. And what I love about pockets and drafting your own, you can get exactly the pocket you want to. So I'm slightly obsessed with pockets, maybe a little bit too much. But I think if you are like me and you want trousers which really work well for you, having the pockets which actually hold everything you want and all these sort of things make all the difference. So what I actually did, which might be slightly unusual, but for my made-to-measure trouser course, there's also a whole module on both designing. So you can look at different design tutorials for different trouser styles and things like that. So there is pleats. So if you want to have pleats like me, you can look at that. But there's also a whole module on waistbands, pockets and closures. And you can see these are all the sort of different pockets I really like. Lots of versions. And it's always interesting when I help people with, for example, fitting commercial sewing patterns. Often the pockets, they look how you want to, but then they're not fully functionable. So there's even like you can change the ease of the access of the pocket, which is a trick I learned at pattern cutting school, strangely enough. And that makes all the difference to having a really usable pocket. And on some of my trousers, I can put in my phone, my keys, and my wallet. So my whole life, more or less. But what I also love about pockets, so yeah, you can make them really practical, really nice and big. And then I'm also going to anchor them. So I'm going to anchor them here, and I'm going to anchor them in the side seam, which means they don't flap around. And if you probably had maybe a dress more likely, but even some commercial sewing patterns, if I have a side seam pocket, and that's actually the only thing I don't like about this Claire McCardell trouser, it's got a side seam pocket, and I think they're quite often quite hard to anchor, and they pull open and they cause issues with your fit overall. So I always like an anchored diagonal entry pocket. And then I'm also going to use my pocket to basically keep the silhouette how I want to, because you might have noticed this before when you did pleats to trousers, you get that sort of bulge out, you know, especially when you look down, and it's just not how you want it to be. You want your trousers to hang nicely and then sort of add that volume further down here, but have it controlled there. So I'm going to use my pockets to actually do that and control it, and then maybe also add a little bit of top stitching here. But all these sort of different things is what I included in my drafting process, and then I used the rules from my basic sewing pattern to draft it in the right order. And the great thing about trousers, quite often on the back it was literally just minuscule changing. On the front it was a bit more because I added the pleats and the pockets, but again they're quite straightforward changes. So unless like with some bodices you can do really complicated things, with trousers, once you have your basic made to measure sewing pattern or block, you can do lots of designs really easily. And the last thing I'm going to also do is I love a closure in my pocket. So I'm going to do an invisible zipper closure inside my pocket. And the reason I love it, it gives you a really neat front here. And also if you do a fly zipper, which is great, but that always needs a little bit of very careful stitching because you want it perfect because it's in your center front. So what I do quite often on my trousers, I put a really straightforward zipper construction in my pocket, which means I have lots of really nice clean lines and I can maybe top stitch them. But I got a fully functioning exit and entry point without it having to become a feature. So I really like that detail. So I'm going to include that again. And that's at the moment I'm making the trowel. I actually, which might seem a bit over top, but I was doing a tutorial on the order of construction for pockets as well. So at the moment I've done the pockets, and you can see how big they are. They're bigger on the screen. I get rid of the image. But you can see what I love about doing my own pockets. They're really deep. So I actually measured my phone, that my phone actually fits inside it. And it, you know, when you buy coats or trousers, your phone fits in. But I have run down the street before and my phone has flown out, which thankfully it survived it. But I always now make my pockets deep enough so I can actually, my phone slots right in, and I can do exactly the sort of lining and facing I want. So that's going to be my trowel, so I can really see how the trouser fits. And then I've picked my first fabric and I'm going to do it in a really soft canvas, which the reason I chose that, it's because it was quite affordable. It's the color I want and it's the weight I want, and that makes all the difference. If you choose too flimsy a fabric, it will just cling to you, or too heavy a fabric or too stiff a fabric, it won't sit how I want to. So I will do it as a trial, but then I think I quite fancy maybe making it of the linen. So I think this would be quite nice for spring, but then maybe make a proper linen version for summer. I hope you now have a better idea of the process you will need to design your own trouser sewing pattern. And if you want to join me on my course, all the details are in the description, and I look forward to seeing you on Draft, Fit and Design Trousers. But that's it for now. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.